We haven't talked about the guy who many people have as not only the number one edge in the draft, but one of the top players in the draft.
Yeah.
Maybe top 3 overall, certainly top 5.
Let me just say, that's insane. I like this player. But I got to say, I got to question some people to go, when they were telling me he was the number one pick in the draft, I just want to go, I don't know how that could come. And I don't mean to say that. I really like Will Anderson. He's a good football player. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's perfect.
But he's my number 5 guy, and he's in tier 3, right? He's a good football player. There's not very much elite when you talk about it, though. An elite doesn't go 1, not at all. I would almost bet big money. There's no way he goes before any of the 4 guys we talked. There's no way. This is not me again. Where maybe Kayvon Thibodeau last year, I was like, I don't see it. There's some things I see I like, but I don't see it for me, right? This is one where I go, this is obvious that nobody's going to be able to watch his film and go, it's as good as the 4 guys we just talked about. There's no way. Those other guys have multiple things they do elite, right? This guy has a lot that he does good. Nothing is elite. Nothing. And then, I know production's off the charts, but, again, all sacks aren't created equal. And I don't know what you saw in your highlights, but, that's the one thing that, his production, great. But, so many of the sacks, I'm going to go, they're not that special, guys. The quarterback was holding it for 5 seconds. There was a stunt. He came around. Nobody blocked him, and he got a sack. I don't go, oh, wow, man. Wow, that's a special attribute right there. That's where people – so, yeah, he got the production, but I want to go, so what? That's not going to do anything in the NFL. That doesn't mean anything. Now, I started this off by being negative about this guy, and I didn't mean to, and it's more negative about the people out there who have put him in the position to make him think he's the number 1 pick in the draft, and there's just no way that's going to happen.
So, speaking to that, in his highlight film, you're right. There's a lot of plays that he is unblocked. He stunts, and there's even a quote in NFL.com's breakdown.
Okay.
We'll need to prove that he can keep racking up the sack totals outside of Nick Saban's scheme.
Exactly.
And so I do think there were a lot of scheme production plays.
Or coverage. Where I go, the coverage is great. They got first-round secondary guys. There's nobody open, and he gets a sack, and we go, look at that production. And I want to go, okay. Now, let me just talk about this.
So then the counter to that then is from an executive for an NFC team. So this is an executive.
Yeah.
If you're an executive, you know what you're talking about. He goes, Power 5 players with traits who get sacks in college are going to get sacks in the pros. Anderson is way more likely to succeed than any of these quarterbacks in the draft. It's not even close. So the idea that you can't do what he did for multiple years at Alabama, even though you got the best players around you, so did Georgia.
Yeah.
And you have a good scheme. But yeah, so do other schools out there. You can't be that guy, that dominant force for this many years and not pan out in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would, one, I don't just agree with that NFL executive's comment at all.
He's an executive.
I know. And, again, there's a lot of good here. There's just, but first off, as a pass rusher, he's got some nice bend. There's no doubt. But, let me just read it verbatim for you, okay? Awesome body. The legs I love for the position. You know that. I love his legs. You can see twitch and quick, with his hands and his feet right away. When he's at the ball gets snapped and he's got to get his hands on you and try to get you out of the way, whatever. You can see all that. It's nice. It really is, right? So right away you see that. His play strength is very good for his size. And again, I want to make sure we know this is still a first-round linebacker we're talking about. But where I'm a little angry is people have been telling me he's the number 1 pick of the draft. And I could just tell you by 5 minutes in, I was like, there's no way this is the number 1 pick of the draft. There's no way, okay? So that's where I'm at. I get angry. It's not at him. So you see this play strength. He doesn't get pushed around, right? He's very good at getting off blocks. He's great. He's got great awareness and eyes in the backfield. His get-off is good, but I'm not blown away. First step, not as good as the guys last year. This is not like Bosa or anything like that I wrote. All right. Then I went on, and he's just not as physically impressive as I was expecting. And I wrote, am I missing something? Has good strength, quick feet to win with or juking and pass rushing, but it's not wow. It's good strength, but it's not wow. Right? The juking is good, but not wow. As a pass rusher, his first step is not top 5 special. Has good bend, but it's not wow bend. Speed to power is just okay. Good athlete, but I'm not like, wow, this is a really special athlete. Not enough disruption and domination to be a top 5 pick for me. Not a good enough overall specimen where I could take him in the top 5. Misses too many tackles, doesn't make enough plays. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker, maybe a 4-3 weak side defense end. I am not wowed by him at all. And then I wrote, I do question his play stamina as drives go on a little bit. That bothers me. He does look like he gets tired, right? And that was basically the end of my assessment there with a few more lines at the end.
And why many people have him at number 1 is for the reasons that we talked about. The
production,
he's
Alabama,
been there for a long time.
I know. It's almost a little bit. It's into our conversation, and I talked to some people about this weekend of just number 1 recruit. Went to the big time college, and he did good.
Yeah.
So he still has to be the number 1 guy.
Well, better than good. So let's talk about how he's been in the discussion for 3 years, and basically I think that's how we've known about Will Anderson for a long time, because he goes to Alabama, immediate starter in 2020 on a national championship team as a true freshman. He won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy as the nation's top defender each of the last 2 seasons. He was 5th in the Heisman back in 2021. So it's definitely a name that has been in there, the conversation for multiple years now. And you're right. You look at the production, and it is ridiculous. Per PFF, he had 55 more quarterback pressures and 10 more sacks than any other college defender over the last 3 seasons. Point taken. Some of those look easy.
Yeah.
And some of those are scheme, and some of those are stunts, and some of those are unblocked. But I think we actually have the raw numbers here. Kristen, his 3 seasons at Alabama, and it's ridiculous. But you say throw that out because look at the film, don't look at the numbers.
I do, and again, I don't want to sound too negative on this guy here, because I know there's a lot of things to like, and he's, a starting outside linebacker, but to say again, he's even in the class of Tyree Wilson. I'm not trying to be hot takey here. I'm telling you, everybody in the NFL is going to see it this way. Everybody. This is not like me going, oh, I'm just being different here. No, I want to be right, okay? I'm into being right, and we'll see here. And then again, I could also get in sacks, college football. It's a different game. It doesn't always translate to make sure you're going to be. It has to, the quality of the sack and how you're getting them is very important. It's not just a number where you just go, well, that number's good, then he gets it. Like you said, there's a way and a look and how that should feel and look to be a top pick in the draft at that position, and that's where I just don't see it.
When you talk to him at the Combine.
Great kid.
I loved that interview.
That's why I hate doing this. I know.
From that interview alone, I gave him the Combine Big Butt of the Combine Award.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got great butt and legs.
And he still has that. So
yeah.
I'm not taking that away. No matter what you think of him in the draft process here, he can keep that trophy. But at that Combine and in the interview, he told you, you go, well, what's one tape I should really watch if I want to learn about you?
Yeah,
and he goes, Texas A&M,
right?
The Texas A&M game, shows what he can do. After watching that game in specific, what did you think?
Well, again, it's a good game, right? Some of the statistics say good, but it's not where I went, oh, look at him just dominating this left tackle here. Damn, they got to double team him. They're throwing it quick because Will Anderson's ruining the game, right? Which is what I was saying about Tyree Wilson. Yeah. I'm going, oh my God, they're literally worried about him. That's all they're worried about. Well, so yeah, and then there's still a lot of good plays. Like I said, he's good in the run. He takes on blocks. A few of his quarterback pressures, though, like you're talking about, they're not ones where I go, oh wow, whoa, whoa, oh. He was oh my gosh, look at him around the edge. Whoa, that was explosive. Holy shit, did he push that tackle back, right? I could watch Georgia games and say that 20 times out of 30 plays with Nolan Smith, and he didn't get a sack or anything. But I go, oh my, whoa, he was so close. Oh my, holy crap, he ruined that guy. They're lucky it was a quick pass over there that time, right? There's just not enough of that. That's where it's good. There's just not pure physical domination or pure physical explosiveness that lends itself to being a top 10 pick. So we'll see where this goes. But there's other guys that I have that are honorable mentions that we're going to talk about in a minute that I have more confidence in them as pass rushers, maybe not the overall player, but to where like 2 years from now we might go, damn, this other guy, your honorable mentions, got 12, 13 sacks a year. And I go, well, yeah, he's got a little bit more things of a pass rusher that I like. Will Anderson, could play stand-up linebacker too. And that's another thing. And I think ultimately, that's where he's going to end up. I don't think he's going to be on the end of the line of scrimmage rushing the passer. I really don't. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I got to kind of see it to believe it a little bit as far as, the NFL is concerned. But I don't think he's going to be an every down pass rusher by any stretch of the imagination.
You know who else has to see it to believe it?
Who's that?
Homie and Twitter follower Win Dynasty, who tweeted you before we started this podcast.
Okay.
Doesn't know what you're going to say at all.
Yeah.
He goes, I got Will Anderson outside my top 10 edges. Am I crazy, or did I watch film and let my eyes tell me the truth instead of listening to my lying ears?
Exactly. I listen. I told you. Well, I told you before the pod. What did I say? I mean, I watched some film, right? Now I'm going back on Saturday after I'm done with my week, and now I'm going, all right, so let me figure out my top 5. And again, I knew my top 4, period. My top 4, it was easy. The 4 I said, it was easy. Now there was some guys in 5, and I went, I'm going back to what? And I'm going, man, like, is something wrong with me? Am I just tired today? Am I seeing him right in the right way? Am I missing something? What is it I'm missing? And like I wrote in my notes, like, and I texted some people in football, and I was like, hey, I'm just got done with edge guys and blah, 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 but what's your thought on this? Or like, am I missing something on Will Anderson?
What was the early feedback
and my feedback I got was, no, I thought the same thing. Why is everybody telling me he's the first pick of the draft? So, again, I don't mean to be negative here.
You've been very comfortable being out of step with consensus.
Yeah.
We've established that throughout the years
Right.
here. But are you as comfortable with this one as you have been?
Yeah.
When you're this far out of consensus from what it appears like at this point?
I am. Because this one's like, this is more apparent to me than Thibodeau last year. It's not even, it's is farther down the line than that. Yeah, I could see some things from Thibodeau where I went, okay, I can see why people would maybe want to take him in the top 10. He's not for me, like I was saying, but I could see it. I could understand it. This one, like, I would go like, what? He's going in the top 10? What the hell are they thinking, right? That's what I would say.
Although maybe you're just letting your judgment get clouded because he lied to you at the Combine, and he told you that he would do all the drills at the Combine, but he only ended up running the 40. Didn't work out at his pro day. I mean, that is interesting, though. I mean, he said he was going to do the Combine drills and then only does one and then doesn't work out at his pro day. You do wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, he's one of those guys that the hype around him, so it's like you can only do negative.
I mean, that's a good point.
You're right. I think that's it. And then the 4.6 at the Combine, most people went, on that day. Everybody was like, oh, man, Will Anderson only ran 4.6. We were sitting there watching one guy after another run 4.5, 4.4, 4.5, 4.39, 4.4, 4.5, 4.4. 4.6? This is the number 1 pick in the draft? Huh? 1.61? Right? Oh, people tell me he's just like Khalil Mack. No, he's not. Khalil Mack's like ability to bend and throw people around was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is not what you see here. That's all I'm saying. I don't get how he got to this point. That's what I want to say.
There might be a little chatter out there similar to Derek Stingley last year, who you were lower on than most, that previous year's tapes maybe highlighted some of the things he does well better than last year. He's been producing for 3 years in a row now.
Right.
So that
He's
might
a good
be
player. I don't want
some
that
of the
to be
chatter out there.
mistaken. He is a good football player.
Well, who to believe now? This is a tough spot for me. Do I believe you? Or here's Nick Saban at the pro day regarding Will Anderson.
Well, he's got great size. He's got great ability. He's a very good pass rusher. But you're talking about a guy that's a great person, has throwback competitive character in terms of toughness, work ethic, great leadership, doing all the things that you would want any player on your team to do to play winning football and help other people on your team play winning football. So I can't say enough good things about Will Anderson.
All right, well, he really didn't say anything right there. So,
well, this is where I think it also plays into the hype of this player right here.
Yeah.
he's the perfect player, right? That's something else Nick Saban said about him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, everyone likes him. He's a very likable guy.
The man. Again, that's why I hate doing this job sometimes, because I'm like, here I am talking about a kid that I loved in person and has been falsely built up, and now I'm the one that's bringing him down, and I'm going to look like the hater. But, that's where I think part of this is. Again, kind of just glossed over the talent, good pass rush or whatever, and then went into the person, the guy he is for his team, right? So, I don't know. We'll see where this goes, but I am pretty confident that this is not a top 10 pick. I'm not pretty. I am very. Like, there's no way he goes in the top 10. I'm definitely going to say he goes in the second half of the first round. And then for my money, yeah, I wrote the end of the first round. That's where I thought he should be, So we'll see. But I do like the player. I want to make sure that's, front and center here. I just don't think, like, when I saw I get mad when I go, people have been telling me the number one pick, and I go, what the, like, there's no way you could watch film with this guy and go, this is the number one pick. And that's where I get frustrated. Sorry.
Pete wants to know if you just don't like Alabama players. We went down this road with Tua, and then Jahmyr Gibbs is the lone exception you've had here. And I guess Mac Jones is, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't really
too,
say.
I guess. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The counter
My
argument
Alabama,
is pretty strong.
Other than everybody except for one quarterback.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. So you've made two declarative statements.
I have.
Two declarations on this podcast.
Yeah.
You said Tyree Wilson, you guarantee is going to be the number one
edge guy
off the board.
Definite.
And your guarantee is that Will Anderson's not going to be a top 10 pick.
Yep. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to throw it out there right now. I don't really want to kiss one of the homies' seats.
We're not doing the kissing
if we have to
thing
do that,
anymore,
then that's fine. Okay, yeah.
We should
that's
throw those out there. That's bold statements.
That is my bold statement.
Ooh,
and it's
we
not
should
just
have
a
a
bold
list of-
statement. It's what I believe. It's what
Yeah.
my studies have told me
It's bold in the context of the
what's
community.
out, the narrative
Yes.
that's out there. Exactly right. Right.
Yes.
But there's some good guys here. And like I said, there was this wasn't a slam dunk at him at number 5. That's where I said the 4 were a slam dunk. I was hemming and hawing with my other guys and who I should put at number 5, and it was Will and a few other guys that were involved in this conversation.
So before we get into the honorable mention in the Robin Hood category, as you just tried to get us to, let's take a look at your 5. Let this sink in here.
Yo, thanks for watching, homies. It's the off season, but there's no off season for us here at Unbuttoned. Me, Ahmed Fareed, we're going to hit all the stories. So hit subscribe for us, okay? We got a ton coming up. My draft prospect rankings, my Simms top 40 quarterback countdown, and videos of me and NFL QBs playing catch and talking about their development and mechanics. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. See you soon.